Hold up. Lotus didn't just make an electric GT, they made two of them, and both are begging to be driven. Meet the Amea family, the 600 and the 900. Two very different takes on the same idea. One is the composed, long-distance grand tour that actually wants to be used for road trips. The other is the unapologetic performance flagship that will make you rethink how fast a four-door can feel. I'm going to take you through what each one really is, how they compare, what changes under the skin, and which one you'd actually want in your garage. No jargon, just the good stuff. Start with the way they look, because Lotus nailed that balance between beauty and purpose. Both cars wear the same graceful fastback silhouette. Long hood, low roof, and a tapering rear that makes the Amea read like a classic GT from any angle. The 600 is the elegant, understated sibling. Cleaner bumpers, subtle active aero bits, and a presence that says refined pace. The 900 dresses the same lines in a slightly darker mood, bigger vents, a more obvious diffuser, and a deployable lip and wing that tuck away until you ask for serious downforce. In person, the Amea family feels grown up. They're not screaming for attention, but they're also unmistakable. If you want drama, the 900 gives it. If you want timeless, the 600 gives you that. Step inside and Lotus again split the difference between comfort and driver focus. Both cabins feel premium. Real materials, good ergonomics, and a driver's layout that keeps what you need right in reach. The 600 leans toward touring. Excellent seats that stay comfortable after hours, quiet insulation so conversations are still possible after a long run, and a liftback that makes packing for a weekend actually painless. The 900 keeps that comfort but tightens things up. Firmer bolsters, more purposeful trim, and a performance steering feel that hints the car is ready to be provoked. Tech is sensible across the range. Big, readable displays, intuitive controls, and Lotus's software that manages suspension, aero, and battery systems in a way that actually feels integrated rather than gimmicky. Now the meat, power, range, and what these cars feel like on the road. Lotus positions the Amea 600 as the long-distance GT. Roughly around 600 horsepower in most trims, tuned for sustained pace rather than peak theatrics. That means powerful, immediate electric torque, but with chassis tuning that rewards sustained high-speed runs and relaxed cruising. Expect real-world range figures that make sense for touring. Think well into the 300-plus mile neighborhood, depending on wheels and driving style. And a charging architecture meant to shorten pit stops. The Amea 600 is the one you pick when you want to drive from city to coast in a day and still enjoy the second half of the trip. Flip to the Amea 900 and the vibe changes quickly. This is Lotus's halo. Numbers jump to the very high end, roughly around 900 horsepower in top guys, and the whole car is harmonized to handle that level. The 0-60 figures and lappability now sit in near supercar territory. But the brilliant thing Lotus tries to do here is keep it usable. The 900 adds heavier aero, stronger brakes, track-grade cooling, and chassis stiffening, so that when you press harder, it feels planted and predictable, not twitchy. Range naturally takes a hit if you're always in the red, but Lotus engineered upgraded battery and cooling packs so you still have sensible distances between charges on a spirited road trip. In short, the 600 is the composed traveler, the 900 is the thrill seeker that can still tour. How they drive is a study in contrasts that actually complement one another. The 600 rewards relaxed, precise inputs. It rewards throttle modulation, long sweepers, and measured cornering. You feel the torque instantly, but the car's balance is tuned, so you never feel like you're wrestling it. The 900 is more immediate. The steering tightens, the brakes bite harder, aero kicks in earlier, and you can feel the car hold higher speeds through corners you wouldn't imagine taking in something this size. Both cars keep Lotus DNA in the steering and chassis feedback, that crispness that makes you feel like the car is an extension of your hands but they apply it in different ways. Charging and range are crucial for buyers, and Lotus did not ignore that. Both Ameas support high-speed DC charging and robust thermal management, so long runs are feasible, and pit stops are shorter than you'd expect for such powerful machines. The 600's efficiency bias means you can plan long tours practically. The 900 requires a bit more planning if you're going to drive it on the ragged edge. But for most owners, it'll still be perfectly usable for mixed touring and sporty driving. Now, the uncomfortable question: price. The Amea 600 sits in the premium GT bracket. Expensive compared to mainstream EVs, yes, but positioned as a more attainable alternative to the most expensive performance GTs. The Amea 900 is a different tier, a flagship model with a price reflecting bespoke engineering, extreme performance hardware, and exclusivity. If you're buying one strictly for everyday commute economics, neither of these is about saving money. They're about experience. But for people who value engineering, craftsmanship, and a rare blend of luxe and performance, the value equation starts to make sense. Who should choose which? If your life revolves around long drives on open roads, the occasional spirited run, and you want a car that's comfortable and efficient over hundreds of miles, the Amea 600 is the smarter, more practical pick. It's the GT that actually lives up to the grand in Grand Tourer. If you're a collector, a performance fanatic, or someone who wants a four-door that can embarrass supercars on straights and still be civilized enough for weekend touring, and you don't mind paying for that engineering, the Amea 900 is the one that scratches that itch. A couple of practical notes before you make your mind up. Options like bigger wheels, track packs, and aggressive aero will slash range. High-performance maintenance, tires, brakes costs more. And charging infrastructure still varies by region. Lotus's warranty and support should be competitive, but this is a premium ownership experience that comes with premium responsibilities. So what's the takeaway? Lotus has built two answers to the same question. Can an EV be an emotionally satisfying GT? The 600 says yes, quietly and efficiently. A true touring maestro. The 900 says yes loudly. A hyper GT that refuses to compromise on excitement. Both are beautiful, both are very Lotus, and both prove that the electric era can still deliver cars that make you want to drive. Which would I pick? If I owned two garages, I'd park both. If I could only have one, I'd choose based on how my life looks. More road miles and long trips. Grab the 600, track days and headline-grabbing performance. The 900 is your weapon. Drop your pick in the comments, Team 600 or Team 900, and tell me why. If you want, I'll do a deep dive next. Lap times, charging tests, and a real-world road trip comparison, so you can see how those numbers translate into miles, time, and grin per mile.